You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. That phrase, called the Miranda warning, is known worldwide from television. Admit it, most of us learned about criminal justice by watching TV shows. But criminal justice is serious business. People's lives can be changed forever with a police encounter or if they find themselves accused of a crime. Our justice system is based on the premise that all of us have a right to be free. That right is protected under the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th Amendments. This means we should be free to live our lives without intrusion from the government. Back in 1791, the framers of the Constitution added the Bill of Rights to make sure we, the people, were protected from the very government they had just created in 1787. Here's why. King George had the power to send his soldiers into private homes looking for evidence of disloyalty among the colonists. They'd bang on the door, open up in the name of the king, barge in, and start grabbing anything that looked suspicious. Soldiers locked up people without telling them why they were being arrested, and then held secret trials without a jury. James Madison, now known as the father of the Constitution, wrote the Bill of Rights to keep the federal government from doing any of the crazy things that happened under King George. For example, the 4th Amendment says the people have the right to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. That means the police need a search warrant before they can get into your home, or car, or purse, or even to look inside your book bag. But, yes, there's always a but. If you are a student, the principal can look in your stuff as long as it's on school property. That's to keep you and other students safe. The 5th Amendment is filled with protections. The big one is a protection against self-incrimination. That's a long word for saying no one can be forced to speak against themselves. Life is hard enough with people talking about you. The government can't make you talk against yourself. So take the 5th and stay quiet. Get a lawyer to speak for you. The 6th Amendment says we have a right to a speedy and public trial. You can just show up to almost any criminal trial and make sure the judge, jury, and attorneys are following the law. Watching our courts keeps them honest. So, show up, get a front row seat, and see how our system works. It's free, and it's your constitutional right. The 6th Amendment also says the defendant must know why they are being tried. Prosecutors represent the government. They must state the charges against the defendant. The defense counsel represents the defendant, who is innocent until proven guilty. The judge presides over the entire case. The jury listens to all the facts, and in the end, it's not the judge that determines if the prosecutor has met that high burden of proving guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. It's the jury. But what if the defendant can't afford an attorney? Well, poor or indigent defendants must receive an attorney anyway. It's the law, based on a case called Gideon versus Wainwright. Did you know before Gideon, most criminal defendants had to be their own lawyers? Imagine a regular person had to cross-examine witnesses and make objections, present evidence, make opening and closing arguments. Of course, most of them lost. Then Gideon wrote his own appeal on a piece of notebook paper and took his case to the Supreme Court, saying it was a violation of his 6th Amendment right to counsel. The court agreed. Ever since, defendants in capital and non-capital cases who are indigent get a public defender or free lawyer. But, yes, there's a but. The public defenders are overworked and underpaid, which means justice is too often based on how much money each defendant has. So poor people and too many people of color are not getting the justice they deserve. This could be the difference between life or death. The 8th Amendment protects against cruel and unusual punishment, but, yes, and this is a big one, America has a death penalty or capital punishment. Most countries have abolished the death penalty, but our Supreme Court says the government has the right to execute people by lethal injection, hanging, firing squad, and electric chair, and it does not violate the Eighth Amendment. It's only considered cruel and unusual if the person suffers unreasonably while they're being executed. The Bill of Rights was ahead of its time back in 1791. Today, not so much. Let's review. We have a right to be safe in our homes and keep the government out of our stuff. Police need a warrant. The Miranda warning, based on the case Miranda versus Arizona, says we have the right to remain silent. So stay quiet. Anything we say can be used against us in a court of law. We have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be provided free of charge. Know your rights. This is your democracy. Keep it strong.